is a small town on the central coast of the Vietnam, situated roughly halfway between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. This little city was once considered the best port city for trade by Chinese and Japanese merchants. The influence of the Chinese and the Japanese can be seen throughout the Asian city from architecture to food. The cities would light up at night with lanterns, while the people from everywhere gather and mingle along the rivers. It is one of the most photogenic and laid-back places I have been in Vietnam, and for good reason. Hoi An has to be one of the most laid-back places in have been. The Asian city is right by the river. The road is closed in the evening for people to walk, and the coastless restaurants selling the most delicious Vietnamese food in all the Vietnam. This is the why Hoi An is the most photogenic place in Vietnam. It is combinations of the architecture, the color palette, and the all light of lanterns that make the place pop. As
Okay.
in particular, Hoi An is considered as cradle of pure Vietnamese people lanterns. Anyone who have ever been to Hoi An cannot forget nostalgic beauties walking through all the old quarter. You will immerse yourself in typical buildings of the old towns of Hoi An, 19th, 18th centuries and 19th century, with the wooden houses, mosques, walls, and the street vendors. Throughout the streets, you can see the beautiful lanterns in the different shapes in every restaurant, shop, hotels, and streets. Definitely, Hoi An cannot be completely beautiful without harmonies of lanterns, colors, the authenticities, and the tranquilities of the cities make us fall in love with Hoi An. That's why Hoi An is always the best destination to visit in Vietnam tours. Furthermore, contemplating lanterns in Hoi An is really interesting. Indeed, at every moment that all have their own beauties. We can see all delicacies. We can see all delicacies, creativities, and the talents of the artisans by looking at these lanterns in the morning with all the details when the night comes When night comes, lanterns are bright and full of the magic colors. It is lanterns that bring to Hoi An poetic nocturnal beauty. Actually, the lanterns appeared in the late 16th century, when the first Chinese came to settle. According to local popular craftsman Huỳnh Văn Bá, was the first who studies created and integrated the cultural characteristics of Vietnam into traditional lanterns. Process of making the lanterns meticulous work that requires many skills. The artisans, the main materials used are the bamboo and silk, which are families image of the Vietnamese people life. First, the upper class in the society was the only one who could have a big lanterns decorated by Japanese character or painting hanging at home. Gradually, lantern become the popular for the middle class in the form of home decor by retaining its beauties, luxuries. Nowadays, lanterns come in various shapes, sizes, as well as method construction. They can be spherical. They can be spherical lanterns, pumpkin-shaped lanterns, or the rotating lanterns. Each shape and each colors of the lanterns has different meaning. For example, the rose symbolize harmony and balance. These are typical shapes of lantern Hoi An. According to the folklore, a lantern hanging in the house is the symbol bring more warmth, peace, and luck to home. If you have a chance to visit Vietnam or Hoi An, you should not miss Hoi An and contemplate its lantern. Traditionally, locals would burn incense for good luck and make offerings and family altars on the days at the festival. Lighting as small lanterns and sending it down the rivers is also the popular custom. By the end of the evening, hundreds of brightly colored lanterns can be seen.
Oh shit. Oh.
As, as peaceful as this twinkle ceremony seems, it is Asian secret. At the full moon feast, tourists flock to the town. Streets can be noisy with jollies, revel, and the old sound system, but it is a lot of fun. If you want to escape the crowd thought, you can put down the river, past twinkling towns and the samba boat. Alternatively, spending the time in the nearby pagoda can be as special as casting your lantern, with monks holding the candlelit ceremony in the evening. If you will not do the towns of the Lantern Festival, it doesn't sound like that nighttime Hoi An is always lovely. Deep into one of the many restaurants, browse the night market, and take a terrace for the digestive at the evening drawing. Silk lanterns are everywhere in Hoi An. They are probably legacy of the use of Hoi An and as Chinese and Japanese trading port from 15th to 19th century. Some locals grew Lantern Festival is the festival drop. Lighting is decorated with the flower lights. The lanterns lit aim to honor the spiritual values and the culture of the Vietnam on major holidays, especially the New Year festival, Upper Highland ceremonies, festival celebration lamb, praying prosper countries. Next sound positive attitude. Lanterns was